Matter of fact. Ooh, we've got that orange kick.
And maybe you have, if there's any Mountain Dew, like, senior people, please give a toe for a sponsorship.
All right. Alrighty, Orion, kick us off.
Oh, we want to do the show? The thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're doing a live opening for our live taping of Concord News, something me and Lynn has been doing, so we'll go ahead and start this.
I'm going to go ahead
Concord
and...
News. I'm Lorenz.
Sorry, I went and paused the music. That way it doesn't affect your VOD.
Goodness. Oh, yeah, actually, that's a good point. Let me check something. Someone made a very good point. Sweet
Ryan,
baby
are you
Jesus.
sure you're on the headset?
That person is correct.
Now, how do I sound?
Ooh, sounds way better. Now I need to readjust all my settings.
Care Bear Queen with the technical assistance.
There we go.
I don't know why it's been doing that lately. Like,
It's
OBS
Discord.
and Discord doing things with stiff and breaking things.
All right.
Yes, the RTS, the audio will be shared as long as my editing does not destroy things. And plus, Lynn's doing this. We'll have 2 separate VODs, and so we should have magic.
We should have magic. I will be the visual, and Orion has got things set up on his end.
Bold of you to say that.
Bold. All right, Orion, take us away.
Right. Welcome everyone to Concord News. I'm Orion Solo. I'm with Lynn Rankin, where we are going to talk about Eve and Eve-related news. And unlike Concord, we respond. Lynn, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I am Lynn Rankin, YouTuber, Twitcher, and not a tweaker.
Not a tweaker.
Not a tweaker. I don't know.
That's good info, I guess. Sure. All right. I'm happy for you. It's good we established that.
All righty.
This is why I like this being live. It's a goofy thing. Even though I think the first take we did, it was like, fuck, we're doing live.
We're doing it live. We're doing it live.
All right, so we're going to cover Dotland. We're just going to go over the most violent systems. Unfortunately, Dotland does it either monthly or by 24 hours, so we're just going to cover the 24 hours period. Paragon Soul had 1,200 ships lost and 172 pods over the last 24 hours. Veiled Silent coming in second with 672 with 449 pods lost. Going over to, of course, the Citadel being the lead, which has, of course, Jita in it, and losing 2,600 ships and 346 pods. Pochvin coming in second, which is nice to see. 1,300 ships lost with about 1,300 pods lost. So a lot more pod losses there. A little bubbling going on there. Most violence for 0.0 in the last 3 hours. 04T with 900 ships lost. Exciting going on. Looks like a big fight going over there if you don't know RMC. Collapsing, and you got StanCan and other groups doing things over there. But yeah, that's the Z-kill portion of Dotland. Lynn, would you please go over the SOB?
Yeah. Oh, and that's the most violent systems last 3 hours. So there's an active fight going on in 04T. Good stuff. All righty. We've got some SOV movement. Insidious is continuously contracting its territory. For those of you who do not know, there has been some stuff that has been going on with Insidious and Winter Coalition. If we take a look at their statistics here, they have lost a serious amount of members. So they had kind of a peak in May. Looks like they lost about 500 members in June. But then just in July, they just had corporation after corporation leaving. So they've gone from 8,300 members down to 3,000. That is death of an alliance numbers. That's death of alliance numbers. So what we've got here is they've lost a lot of their territory as well. If I go back to the statistics page here, we can see that they had 43 systems. They're down to 21 systems as of today. So they've lost just about half their space. More so over here Yeah, so they lost their SOV 1 system, so they had a maximum of. Oh no, I'm just crazy. So they've held their 43 systems for a long time. So we're just continuing to monitor the collapse of Insidious right here, and
which we'll talk about it later. But it makes that soda from Innit that much more interesting.
Yeah. And it looks like the Rejected has closed. That's wow. I did not hear about that. So in the last day, the Rejected Alliance in drone regions has collapsed entirely. Celestial Palace, looks like there's a member swap between Dawn's Light and Celestial Palace. They're having just about an equal number of people moving. So we've got Dawn's Light, 3,000 members down to 300, and then Celestial Palace up about that same amount of members. So it looks like there's some movement going on there, some Winter Coalition stuff. So nothing else too crazy. Looks like we've had some movement with the initiative here. With probably in response to the initiative State of the Union. They've also given up 13 systems. It looks like. Probably more on the way.
There's a Fortizar timer today.
Okay.
Over in wherever in that area, I believe.
Okay. All right. Orion, would you like to cover the faction warfare updates?
Faction warfare updates. So some interesting stuff on our side from the Min Mill Amar war zone. If you didn't know, if the insurgency wins, or the insurgency, aka the Gueristas or the Angels win, they flip a system over. So if you click over to the Amar and Min Mill side there.
Sure thing. There we go.
So if you look to the south down there where the FOB location is, since the insurgency was won, that system goes neutral effectively and goes frontline. And 24 hours after the insurgency is won, it becomes vulnerable for one or the other sides to take. So this is a very unfortunate thing that happened to the Mar, because the only system that was frontline down through here, I believe, was Cormonan. So if you look to the west there, Cormonan was the only frontline system. But now, since it's gone, Camilla has gone neutral due to the insurgency winning due to the Angels winning the insurgency, that made Lama go frontline and Sasala go frontline. Meaning we can dock in those places now.
So this is a huge opportunity for the Minmatar faction warfare to really strike deep into the Amar back line.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it just makes that front line that much bigger for us to go ahead and push down towards the south, which I believe that's kind of what our goal is, to be pushing south. There's not been a lot of movement on the front at all.
And if you're able to kind of cut off the Amar here, that's going to help you with getting ahead with these systems up here, because they're going to be.
And I don't.
Go ahead.
I was say this is not a real big push thing. Faction warfare itself is more of a grind to take system. So, this has taken weeks to just push into Cormona and start making the progress we've made in Cormona, because it's a little over 50% now contested. That's taken a lot of work from folks, and Amar have not been laying low on this. They've been pushing and working hard in Auga and in Cremona in there, and the insurgency just made it that much harder because of bubbles and stuff like that. But we'll see who takes this system here now. If Amar can flip this system and take it over, I think it may put these systems back to rearguard or command ops, but we'll see. It all depends on who gets to the IO hub and manages to flip it.
And pausing really quick, I need to turn streamer mode on.
Turn on streamer mode. Ah, my face! You've ruined my face! My face is gone.
Alrighty, I think streamer mode is on. Yes, now it is on. We were just getting Discord pings on my end. We were getting the okay. Continuing on, you can cut that portion out.
No worries, but yeah, that's the only real big things that are happening in the Amar Min-Mill War Zone. Unfortunately, due to the chaotic schedule we've all been having, I didn't get a chance to work with Frozen on an update for the Galente side. It looks still to be about the same. It looks like they've taken one more system. I think that was partially due to the insurgency there. But I'm going to start reaching out to more faction warfare groups on the Caldari and Amar side so we can get viewpoints from both those sides on that. But that is your faction warfare update.
All righty. Good stuff. Looks like we've got some big kills over on Z Killboard.
Well, I figured we'd start off first by, a casual Keepstar loss here from XIX. They getting slowly grinded on by Boss and Skill U. I'm going to refer to them as Skill U Reborn just because if you try to say whatever their alliance name is,
XQTYWIZNALAMY.
Yes, that group.
That group.
But yeah, it's Skill U Reborn. It's got some basically some of the mainline corps from that. There, you've got Higher Than Everest, and a few other groups in there doing that kind of thing. So it's not every day you see a Keepstar loss here and to Nightmares, which is you see that doctrine used a ton over there in the drone regions. It's just a favorite go-to for the Russian groups over there and the
and Boss. Boss is, having worked with Boss, Brotherhood of Spacers, the Nightmare Doctrine is one of their main lines, alongside Bargas, but they are primarily a Nightmare Doctrine pirate faction battleship group. That is a favorite. I cannot recall who the FC is, but I know the leader, Nem, really, really loves Nightmares.
They're a strong doctrine. Like it's hard to pin them down. They can break most tackle because of the afterburner bonus. It's a really strong doctrine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hang on, I got to pull up the document again because I was a cool guy and closed it somehow.
We're going to be talking about an Erebus next.
Ooh, so
Eternity Erebus looks like it's an asset safety.
Yes, so. This Erebus that died was undocked from the asset safety, and was tackled by Snuff. And Snuff immediately started working on it. Then a Nyx, which is the next kill on there, undocked to shoot that Hick. And so if you looked at it, it has no fuel. So that Nyx undocked with 0 fuel, had no fallback, and died to the Snuff group.
Wow.
And the fun thing is, I added on there Marshall is because Big AB dropped either to cover those groups, unconfirmed, either to cover Fusion and the FRT group to get out of there or to try to get in on those kill mills. But Snuff stayed on grid after they dropped and brawled it out with them, and they lost several blobs to include the Marshall listed on the document as well.
Wow. What a little bit of a bloodbath there.
Yeah, so a lot of ISK was lost there, a lot of supers dead, so that was very interesting to see.
You have a new follower.
Nonetheless, it's one of those things you rarely see.
The things you rarely see. All righty. Yeah, it's always a fun thing when you see a Marshall die, and that is so. The thing with this Marshall, friends, this says it's 12 bill. It is not 12 bill. Just about everything on here appears to be abyssal rolled. There is a abyssal large smart bomb here. There are several abyssal modules on here. We've got an abyssal warp disruptor, MWD, scrambler, stasis web. We have 3 abyssal plated armor plates. Yeah, a lot. That was a blingy Marshall that died too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were some interesting fits with those blobs if you dig into that BR a bit more, but it's just interesting to see, and it just proves to show that you're never safe in Eve, and especially when you're undocking super caps from a asset safety station.
Yeah, and it looks like for all of that, Snuff lost 20 bill, but gained 252 bill in kills.
Yeah. Well, and to continue on with the super losses, FRT lost another Nyx in Day P to, it looks like a mixed group of blobs, but mostly consisting of Goon Swarm on there. But there's many different groups in there, so I'm guessing some kind of blobsing group of some sort was involved to finish that one off.
Yeah, and we're taking a look at this. Yeah, this is definitely a ratting. Oh my gosh, this is a absolute ratting. Oh man, this I kind of feel bad. Kind of feel bad for this Nyx here. Let's see. I'm not seeing. Looks like it was just traveling, because it looks like it was bumped off of the YMJ gate 40 kilometers. So, yeah, that was he was gating the super. What in the world?
It could be a few different things. You never know. It could have been a guy trying to save someone on a gate, or and then or someone baited him out with a small gang or something. As we grow this thing, this Concord news thing, I'm hoping to folks reach out to us and we reach out into these groups and they kind of give us some back story on these things so we can better talk about it. Because right now we're just two guys who've done a lot of different things, kind of pontificating on what we see here. So if we get something wrong, please feel free to correct and let us know what's going on. But that could have been someone super warping in to help his Sino.
I think I'm taking a better look at this. It looks like someone was using their Nyx to try and do some cheeky things, because there's an Arazu loss here. There's an Arazu loss here, 4 kilometers off of that same gate. So it looks like perhaps he was trying to drop his Nyx on some things and then got counter dropped by a blob troop. So he was using bait and then went after someone else's bait.
Mm-hmm. Lovely.
What else do we have? Ooh, we have a Ragnarok down.
Yes, so this one looks like he just purchased the poor thing.
Entirely unfit. Looks like this was a Hypernet win.
You think so? Hypernet win?
Yeah. Potentially. Is there a Keepstar in Bear Shear and Derelict? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Derelict area. I always think of a different show when I hear Derelict.
So yeah, this is this poor person. Looks like they're off of planet 2. Probably a Citadel there.
Yeah, I don't see a Sino lost either, so who knows what had happened there. But yeah, he looks like he got multi-boxed to death, judging by the group there. But yeah, it just shows you the danger of moving Titans. And the pro tip I get from a lot of super movers is either be with your group and have them cover you, or don't tell anyone you're moving anything.
Exactly.
And just full send and go as quick as you can. Exactly.
Oh, poor guy. Not as let's talk about this one here.
This Cayman, you say?
Yeah.
Which a lot of folks in the faction capital community do not like. As Crab sends ducks across my screen. But yeah, there's the Cayman's not a great dread. It's more of a showboat than anything. You do get a fighter, if I remember correctly, but like it's not like objectively a PNI would be more ISK value for you to use. You're just flexing when you use a Cayman.
Yeah. Speaking of PNI, we're going to be giving away a PNI later.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. All right, so we've got some patch notes to discuss. Anything more on this poor Cayman? Someone who should not have undocked with it.
No, it just looks like Snuff doing Snuff things. It just, again, you just got to be aware your surroundings, moving caps and things like that, folks. And you can go a long ways by doing that, and just know Snuff is watching.
Yes. So let's talk about the Alliance Tournament. The Alliance Tournament prizes. I got the wrong article up. Now I have the right
I am
article
not
up.
going to get the touch.
No one's going to be able to touch this. No one's going to be able to touch this.
Well, yeah, these. Well, if you're talking in general, yeah. I think actually, if you're looking at AT ships, the frigate's kind of not near as scary as I thought it was. I mean, it's going to be very, very good, and I'm talking about the Herald.
The Herald.
I think it's Dune, the Herald of Change.
Yes, yes.
But it's based off the Sentinel.
Based off the Sentinel, it's got some really good bonuses on it when we get down to the bonuses area. Stream DRB. Let's go ahead and get a shout out for Stream DRB. So yes, we've got the Herald here. So this is going to be nasty. It's going to be a Sentinel mixed with a Retribution and a Vengeance assault frigate. That's a very interesting combination, and it's effectively got 8 turrets on it. So you've got destroyer level DPS with this one little thing, with the ability to not let your enemies track you very well. So that's going to be very nice. And then we've got the Penitence Combat Recon Cruiser. I really love the design and look on this. Not even getting into the stats yet on it. I love the design of the Penitence.
I think they could have done more designing or added a bit more to the Herald to make it kind of the Crucifier hull itself is a hard one to make look kind of cool in my opinion, but that's just me because I don't like the hull near as much.
Yeah,
but I think with the Penitence is gonna be a monster.
And I cannot wait for a future Arbitrator hull redesign. Mm-hmm. So this kind of gives us a little bit of a glimpse as to what we're going to be seeing as far as future redesigns, because there's still some ships that need to be redesigned. But yeah. So the Penitence.
I put it on the paper. This thing is going to be, you're going to die alone in the dark without cap, because this thing isn't going to be on D-scan. It has reduced signature for when the warp destruction field generator is up, so it's going to be able to it's going to be harder to hit when it has it up. It's going to have extra range, and then if you look in there, RTS, one of the high-end pilots that bullies me quite frequently, he says is going to be able to nuke to about 100K away.
Dang.
So yeah. That is
that is
they don't need
a
whole
super
lot
curse.
of guns on there to make you die,
and that's without abyssals.
Oh well, maybe. Is that without abyssals? I don't know if I caught that or not. But yeah, he's gonna the folks who use these things it's gonna be a broken.
It really is going to be. You see a Penitence, just GF and local.
So if you see it on grid, most likely you're probably already did, or you get very excited if you say, what's the guy who hunts all the Alliance ships? I've forgotten the guy's name. I had it right in my brain right before it said it, but yeah, you're rubbing your hands on these when you see these things. But so the first winner gets 40 of each. Second, the loser of the grand finals gets 20, and then the numbers just go down from there for a total of 140 of both ships that will be put out there.
Yeah, I definitely think the Herald is going to be the weaker. One of the weaker. It's electronic attack frigates are always a little bit difficult when it comes to pricing for AT stuff, but yeah. So we're taking a look here. The Herald can have 2 turret slots. So 2 turret hard points, but again, after bonuses, it has effectively 8. So that is insane on a frigate. That is insane DPS on a frigate. On top of that, it can launch a flight of 4 I would suspect rogue drone light drones, so that way it can have some combination damage and E-War to help it out. And it's got a 255 layout. So it's going to have very strong mids and a very strong tank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so,
that 4%
and then,
to our armor resistance is going to make it really tanky.
Yeah. And on top of that, you cannot nude it out very well. It has a 50% increase in cap war resistance. Plus, it can fit in an assault damage control. A E-War frigate with an assault damage control on it.
Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's going to be a nasty little dude there. I was looking for damage bonuses because I was like, this thing seems underpowered, but then you look at the frigate bonuses, 20% to small energy turret optimal range, and then 40% for damage.
Yeah. And then on top of that, 25% rate of fire. So it's an insane setup here. On top of that, it's going to have, what is that? 12.5 times 5. I cannot math today. Hold on.
Thank you for the follow stream.
Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the follows. Keep the follows coming. Times 5. A 62.5% bonus to weapon disruption effectiveness.
Now, see, I didn't think it needs more bonuses, but I was kind of expecting a drone damage bonus or something similar to what the Penitence has, just to kind of keep it in line with the thing.
Well, I think trading the drone damage bonus for the armor resistances is going to be very attractive, especially since you're not really wanting to use. So, yes, you have the ability to launch 4 light drones at a single time with this ship. However, with the rogue drones being a thing now, we've got a variety of different damage plus ECM drones that can be effective. So,
Jesus, yeah, you could be tracking disrupted, you can be nuded, and then you could have damaging jam drones. That's I think I just got cancer. I think that's just what happened.
Yeah, and on top of that, if this thing gets into trouble, assault damage control.
Right.
Assault damage control to really hype up its already beefy tank. 20% bonus to all armor resistances.
Yeah, this thing's gonna be. I mean, like I probably won't run into one, and if I do, I'll probably die. But it's one of those things where it's always, even if you die to one of these, it's always awesome to see these AT ships out flying about. So mad props to folks who actually undock these things.
Absolutely. Mine would never leave Exordium if I even held on to it.
See, I would probably sell mine just because I'd like to have the ISK to do different things with. But like money not being an object, I would fly these things and die probably terribly to like a Condor that I can't shut its guns off for some reason because I poorly piloted it and just die and just be like the meme on Reddit. Mosecker loses AT ship to Condor.
Loses in a 1v1 to a Condor. See, I would fly around in Exordium for a little bit, showboat it, and then sell it. So, and then we've got the Penitence with a 5.6.7 layout, still very strong mid, and a very, very strong tank opportunity there. It's got 4 launcher slots, 2 turret slots. It can fit a Sino as well as a warp disruption field generator. So it is a combination Hick and heavy assault cruiser. It is a combination Hick and combat recon. It doesn't. Oh, there's a little bit of a typo here, FC. Done bandwidth.
Where is it? I want to see it. Oh,
on the Penitence here.
Well, they're not wrong. You will be done.
They're not wrong. You will be done. You will be done. Yes. So I think more likely what you would see here. You're never gonna see this combat recon light a Sino unless it's an emergency. I do imagine that the penitents, anyone that's going to be running with a penitence, might have an emergency covert Sino, just so that way they can bring in and then kind of operate around underneath a bubble of marshals. You know? So
we'll see.
We'll see. I definitely think a popular format is going to be maybe 3 launchers and Newt Nos, depending on if they're wanting to do more damage with that. Unless they really want to go FU and just go 2 lasers and just double Newt Nos.
I mean, there's 100 different ways you could fit this thing up, whether they decide to go nano with it or full brick it for doing meme drops or whatever.
Especially since it has that 20% bonus to armor resistances and cannot be seen on directional scanners. You will not see it coming.
Yes,
and then, so I do not think you're ever going to see anyone fit a warp disruption field generator on this. Just because it can doesn't mean you will.
Well, I think you might, just because of the long range scramming potential. It frees up mids for that, so you can just fit that warp destruction generator on there, long range scram someone. It's incredibly effective. It gives you more options. So I would definitely see at least 1 fit on there, so that way you can switch the script, put up a bubble, or maybe even 2, because you've got a great bonus with the drones as well. 20% bonus to hit points and damage, extra range, and they're faster too. They get a micro warp drive bonus. They're moving.
So on top of 125% bonus to hit points and damage, again, using the rogue drones, so that way you're getting that combination EWAR and damage. It's going to be insane. And then what is that? An extra, so 7,500 meters times 5, an extra 37.5 kilometers operating range. So close to 80, 90 kilometers.
Now, that's it.
Insane.
You don't abyssal roll it if you can do that or anything like that, or use a high end one. Someone brought up a good question. It doesn't say on here, but since it's a recon, can it light a covert Sino? I don't see it on here. It just says
just a regular Sino. Regular Sino. Good call out.
And it doesn't say anything about covert, having the covert thing on there.
Yeah, so it's just going to be...
Well, I guess that would be the Pilgrim, right? No.
Yeah, so it's based off of the curse.
Pilgrim.
So it's based off of the...
Recon. It's not the other one. So, yeah.
Not the Force Recon. Yeah. So, no covert op cloaky penitence. No surprise Amar Inquisition for you there.
The probably will be surprise Amar Inquisition once they throw a Sino on there too, because I'm sure someone in a standing fleet in one of the big groups will get one of these things and put a Sino on it, and then surprise someone.
Surprise! Oh, you thought you could take on a penitence? Well, surprise! Here comes the marshals.
Right. Well, I mean, that doesn't always work. These things, I believe, one of Enet's AT ships got grabbed by a AT hunting group. I forget the guy's name again, but yeah, that. You're not safe in Eve. Even if you hide behind that stuff, you can get Von Hold.
Yeah.
There you go. You got Von Hold.
Yep. Absolutely. And then, of course, we've got Amar Victor skins that are modeled off of the design of the Herald and Penitent. So you're going to get this brown gold, this bronzish gold color scheme on these ships here: the APOC Navy, Abaddon, Prophecy Navy issue, Pilgrim, Guardian, Omen Navy issue, Dragoon Navy issue, Pontifex, Retribution, and Imperial Navy Slicer. And of course, the winner of the Alliance Tournament this year, as always, is going to be added onto the Alliance Tournament placard. The Alliance Tournament trophy.
I would like to hope we get on there, but I doubt that with the perennial attenders like the Tuskers and the other folks.
Yeah, and I know Slow's not going to be on there. So what do we have here? We've got an event going on tomorrow in Amamake. This is what you were talking about a little earlier. Go ahead and share a little bit more.
Rots is having a baby, and so for his pre-hiatus thing, he's putting on a big event there. It looks like there'll be probably a super cap on grid and some fun stuff to shoot. I know Warlock is going to be there, so we will. Just like Amamake fashion, it's going to be chaos and murder, and we'll see who brings what to be able to shoot this fleet that Rots is going to be bringing.
All right, good stuff. We'll definitely show up tomorrow.
And then Saturday, I am putting on an event, and I hope to see some folks there for that.
We've got the Amamake Industrial Revolution. Tell us more about the event.
So, when Catalyst happened, I believe, when they brought all the mining changes and initial things, I was like, oh, I want to put on a thing. And I bought 500 ventures, and I sat on them and got busy with things. And now finally I'm starting to do it. And as soon as I get ready to start sending out the stuff, Rots put out his thing. I was like, well, crap, I'm not going to change it now. So Saturday, 2000 Eve, I'm going to hand out 500 PvP fit ventures. They're going to be all T1 fit, so anyone can hop into them basically from brand new start in the game if they want to come over here to Amamake and start this thing. I'm going to be undocking an Orca to die and a Rourke, and I do believe Warlock will be there possibly to undock a Rourke as well. So there'll be plenty of caps to shoot at. Some folks are saying, well, I can't wait for Snuff to ruin it. I was like, that's fine. Like, if you don't do a thing, nothing's going to happen. Worst case scenario is you lose a free ship. Oh, well.
You lose a venture. You lose a venture.
Undock the thing, have a bit of fun with it, and that's all that matters. I want to keep trying to do events. When I make my runs for CSM and stuff, I want folks to we don't want FC to have to create the content for us. It's always been us doing it, and it needs to stay that way. And so I want to keep creating fun things for folks.
I am going to attempt to make it to that one. I've got pre-existing real life stuff happening that day.
Oh goodness, no worries. At least you're not like Jotun, who lied to me about the interview. He's like, I had an emergency come up. He had already planned to be at a party. And then he broke down during our interview. He's like, I'm so sorry, I lied to you. I was like, it's okay, man. You just told me you had a party to go to. It's fine. It's not that serious. But it was funny.
Oh, that is great. And then what's this Intaki project?
Oh, so a friend who is streaming right now, or did he stop? Hold on, let me look. LGO. Let me do this real quick. I'm gonna shout this guy out. His name's LGO. He does Eve art, if you didn't know. If you go to FanFest or whatever, he does.
Lloyd George.
Yep, Lloyd George. He does all of the. He does a lot of Eve paintings. If you look behind me, that's one of his paintings as well. He's trying to start up a farms and fields kind of situation where he's getting folks to go move over to Syndicate and work out of the area there to kind of build it up, starting with industry stuff. So that way, as you build industry stuff up, folks mining stuff, folks exploring, doing that kind of thing, filling up the market, you get folks trying to build something there, and then you'll get the hunters, you'll get the PvP starting. It kind of grows its own little ecosystem. So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make Syndicate a good place and a fun place. And we need more stuff like that. So he's trying to gather up folks who are kind of interested in that kind of thing, who are willing to kind of put some effort towards it. So if you're interested on it, you can join the channel Intaki Commerce, Intaki Space Commerce, and see about going in there and help. And looking at the trade hub, I think is EZA. So head over there and put stuff on the market if you can do it. He's always looking for help for that kind of thing. So definitely, these are good initiatives to do, because anything that puts folks at NPC null gives them a taste of nullsec, and that's where groups. I think we've kind of lost that. Like, we don't see a lot of groups going to NPC null to kind of grow and do different things. And I think this is a good thing to do.
Absolutely. And I love Lloyd George's artwork. I've got one of these pieces here that just popped up on screen. I'll show you which ones that I have here. And one very cool story one very cool story on how I helped LGO with a design. So I have this print here. It's right up there. So I own that one. I have a Marshall one. Let me show you that one. We've got other factions. I think it's going to be under other factions. Maybe no, this is the pirate category. We've got, where is it? Where is it? Okay, I'm going to need to look at the storefront. I'll need to look at the storefront here to show which ones that I have, unless it's sold out and I can't show it. Unless it's sold out and I can't show it anymore. Anyways, this is one here that I helped inspire. I had posted a picture to Instagram of my buzzard going through the Winter Nexus, and LGO, he asked me, hey, would you be okay if I paint, like, I'm inspired by that, I want to do something like that, are you okay if I kind of transform that? And this was when I was under the Slow Community brand, so before I rebranded everything. So it's still got the old Slow Community brand on the Instagram, but yeah. And then I've got a Marshall. I don't have that one yet. I have one of his works from the 20th anniversary box, the Immortal Eden skin. That one I might be able to find because it's under Galente. Yeah, it's this one right here.
He has way too many Amar ships on there. We need more Minmatar representation. So I'm about to yell at him about that. I'll be like, no more shout outs until I see more Minmatar ships, sir. I'm sorry. I gotta draw the line somewhere.
So, alrighty. Do we have any questions from chat? Any questions from chat on what we have going on before we kind of do what we're going to do? Do what we're going to do today. What do we have, friends? So we're just finishing up a podcast. We're just finishing up a podcast today with my guest and friend, Orion Sasolo. Technically, I'm a guest on his podcast, so it's kind of a guest of a guest situation. But yeah. So what kind of questions do we have in chat or anything that you want us to talk about before we kind of wrap up this this little segment here? This is intended to be weekly. So Orion and I, we plan on, as best as we can, as real life allows, he and I, we try and link up to record a podcast session we try and do it weekly, and then the VODs, not the VODs, the recordings go up on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it really depends on how well this goes. I want to try to do it weekly and expand more and try to, get out there, and as folks, if folks like it, and we can get some more information on fights and stuff like that, we can expand on talking that and eventually get some guests on to talk about things, FCs, FC itself, maybe, stuff like that, so that way they can be a part of it and make it interesting for folks. So if you have suggestions, like you hit myself up or Lynn. Lynn likes to say guest. I mean, he's half of this thing, and he helps me out quite a bit. So don't let him weasel out of it. But it's a matter of if you guys like it. I love doing it because I miss having a kind of a news kind of thing. Like Talking Stations was something I loved, so I want to see that come back.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want to do news stuff. I want to go over it.
So I've got two things it looks like here. So Miriam, we'll talk about loyalty points for Twitch after. It's a good question. You can talk about now. Nothing wrong with that, unless you want to cover something else, dude. Like let's see.
I'm good.
So the loyalty points thing, we're doing a loyalty point challenge over on my channel, contributing loyalty points, Twitch loyalty points, to unlock an event where I will be doing Battlestar Galactica style stuff where everyone else is in smaller stuff and I'm in a Archon. And I don't just yeet them and run away. I stay on field and fight too. And then I think I set the points way too high, and I don't know if people are going to get their points refunded or anything. So whatever's contributed, I'm going to count.
How dare you?
Whatever's contributed, I'm going to count as unlocking the event. But get your points in. It'll also stop my chat from from spamming hydrates, at least for a little bit.
No, we can't have that happen.
So I see two things, and people are already doing it. I see two things.
Yes. Do it.
Talking about the Anzaplex changes, so we're going to cover that. Why would that stop us? I don't know. The vain hope. So I see two things asking us to talk about the Jump Bridge revamp. And then one thing about, did you know that the last player structure in Pochven is going down soon?
Yes, they were just, someone posted in here that they're paying for that. I remember them posting that there's a Pochven thing going on, but I didn't realize it was the last structure.
Yeah, and that's going to be end of an era. I wonder how many capital ships are still docked in that. I think it's a Fortizar that's going down.
To be honest with you, I'm not. I have not followed that at all, really.
So Anna Drake can tell us. Can tell us what's
going on.
Yeah. So we've got two questions about the Anzaplex changes, how it's going to affect Null. If they let people pick up structures again, may start an all-out war. How likely do you think it is? And how likely it's going to hurt the Blue Donut? And it is a Fortizar, and visually there's 7 capitals.
Oh, yeah, so that's not counting all the stuff that's
in there.
Collecting dust from folks who've stopped playing and all the other stuff that's gone in Pochven.
Yeah. Rev, 2 Nags, 3 Thannies, and a Nid. Interesting.
Yeah,
when a Nullsec Alliance and don't really care, that's what they don't really care. That's what they said, the Anzaplex thing. So I think more and more alliances are coming out, especially with Initiative. Initiative is taking the approach of contracting its space to Zone 1, Zone 2 of Anzaplexes. So it's there's movements. There's some alliances that, at least publicly to their members, are saying, hey, we're not worried about this. And maybe that's true. Maybe they really aren't worried about the Anzaplex changes. I think it's going to be very difficult for groups like the Imperium to project their forces and defend their allies. For Initiative, just being themselves and triumvirate, they, in their little coalition thing, they are contracting their territory to just Zone 1, Zone 2, because they can't really do anything beyond those. So they're giving up their holdings in Delve. They're giving up their holdings in Delve, it looks like. And we've got a very big swath of territory with Winter Coalition and Imperium. There's no way they're going to be able to maintain or hold on to Anzaplexes beyond Zone 2. It's just going to be too cost inefficient to try and send a fleet out that way. Some of the holdings in Delve, not all of it.
Yeah, from what I understood, they were just going to cut off ones that just didn't make sense, like only being able to bring like 10 or 15 cruisers through Zone 5 or 4 or whatever. It just doesn't make sense for them. They'll make a warp corridors using the iHub upgrades.
Yeah, exactly. The big thing with the Anzaplex changes is the fact that when you're in like Zone 4, only jump 15 cruisers through an Anzaplex before it's capped out. And then it takes 8 hours to recharge. 6 to 8 hours to recharge. Hey, Lord Death Raven, good to see you. So it's definitely going to have an impact whether a alliance is publicly worried or not. Whether an alliance is publicly worried or not. It is going to change things around.
I don't think it's going to change incredibly much. I want to see how things kind of shake out. I think we might see some extra camping on routes that may get some more traffic due to the install exchanges as groups have to move a little bit more. But I think past that, you still have Titan bridges and stuff like that. So I don't think it's going to change too terribly much. I think it puts more pressure on these smaller groups that are around the major alliances. But past that, I don't think it's going to do much. Hey, what's up, RJ? Bay RJ hitting us up, and I think I agree with him. I don't think it's going to change too terribly much. We'll see some minor adjustments, but it's not a big game shifting solve null change.
Coming from someone that would have been one of the smaller alliances, having to manage that, definitely it's going to. I agree with you. It's definitely going to impact the smaller alliances more. However, from a bigger alliance perspective, I feel that it's going to cause coalitions to they're going to stick around. They're going to stick together for a while, but as soon as the pressure starts kind of being exerted, where let's say Dracarys is trying to get help from Imperium for Flash content or something like that, it is going to be, as soon as that relationship is strained and tested, different alliances within coalitions are going to start questioning being part of that coalition and start moving to be more self-sufficient. And then when you're moving to be more self-sufficient and you can't really easily access or not allowed to access main trade hubs like CTAC-J or anything like that, it is going to get very, just the economics of what is the benefit of being in X coalition if I'm still required to participate in these massive fleets and they can't defend me anymore.
Well, so I think it's not. I think if you let you spread out solve timers and stuff like that, maybe you could see some strain on some groups. But structure timers are structure timers. They're going to take many days to happen, and so that's going to give groups time to form up and get to places and do different things. They just have to be a little more diligent on their planning.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, you may see some fringe shifting and stuff like that, but by and large, I don't think we're going to see a huge shift. I think small groups get affected the most by this, and probably
always.
not the best way. We would hope, but we will see. We would love to see more groups be more independent of each other. But again, when it comes down to a Fortizar timer or Keep Star timer, folks are going to show up to that, whether it's strategic or not. Unless one of these larger groups drop the ball on a major objective during a fight like that, then maybe. But again, right now we're not even seeing any real shakes war-wise, as far as I can say.
Yeah,
like RJ says, unless there's counterplay to the time zone lock solve stuff, even Goons kind of, and in it kind of stopped kind of pushing on Fraternity because it's just such a slog trying to do the time zone difference between the two, trying to create big fights like that.
Yeah,
kind of hoping for lucky rolls.
And going off of what Ginger Dreadman is saying, the bigger problem is CCP is trying to encourage alliances to be taller than wider. But my thing is the Anceflux changes are not compatible with the current Equinox changes, because in order to have any viable upgrade right now, you need to play wide. You need to have total control over a region. And right now that is... presently, the Empires, the Imperium, Winter Coalition, the thing with the Ansible exchanges is it forces you to contract your territory. because there's no point in having Ansiplexes beyond Zone 2 because it's just too cost effective. You can't get enough forces through there. And you can't warrant regular traffic through those as well, because if you have transports or people leaving Zone 5 to go to Zone 1 to the market and then go back out to Zone 5, you've just capped out a Zone 5 with 3 transports, for example. Or if you're going out in a pod, coming back in a battleship that you just purchased in SeaTac J, for example, you just neutered the ability for Imperium to respond in Zone 5 because now it's had its cap drained significantly. Because you can cap out a Zone 5 Ansplex with 4 battleships.
We need to see it in practice, and then we need to see a full-scale war to really see what this will entail. And you're not going to see large null shifts until there's a way for where they're not self-sustaining within a region, or until there's a reason to move, like the moon changes and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Or
and that's where I agree with you that we're not going to see changes in how the coalitions are operated or organized until these Ansible exchanges are in and we start seeing the impact and people start evaluating the value proposition of being in X coalition. And yes, there are upgrades planned where you can improve the recharge rate or the capacity in which you can bring ships through. But knowing what I know about SOV upgrades, it's going to be pitiful compared to what's there. And then on top of that, there's counterplay. You can newt out. You can form a sneaky guerrilla fleet and just newt out a Anzaplex that you're anticipating that forces are going to be coming from.
I could see that maybe doing something like that to stop like an immediate group coming through a jump bridge or something like that. But unless you
if you're talking about a recharge, if you're talking about a recharge time of 6 hours, then you're having to force people to have jump fatigue timers.
So yeah, it would come down to strategic planning and stuff like that. So yeah, I think we just need to see a war happen around this to make sense. But again, I don't think this is the big change I was expecting from a SOV null change. I think how long has it been since SOV null's been changed? And being honest, I don't. As much as we all want SOV null changes, I think the desperate need of attention is wormhole space.
I would agree. Wormhole space needs a lot of attention right now. I think it needs more diversification in what is offered in there. So that way it's not just the C5, C6 mafia that is controlling all of wormhole space. The last time we had a major change in null would be scarcity, which I missed the initial phases of scarcity. And then as far as SOV improvement, you have Equinox that launched 2 years ago, year and a half ago, something like that. And that really impacted the ability for alliances to plan things, because you could have great ratting in every single system as long as the TrueSec was good. Now, even if the TrueSec is good, the system itself might be crap and not able to support the upgrades. Mm-hmm. So previously, all systems just relied on how long you held it in order to upgrade it. Now you, except for the Sotoyo and the Anzaplex, those still require time held, strategic index. Now you can install any upgrade you want, save for those two, but your system might not be able to support it. And that's why these alliances have to play wide now, is a lot of space, because they had tied it to planet generation and sun generation generated 23 years ago. They tied power and workforce and everything, and just the spider web of systems in New Eden because of the way that transferring workforce around works. You have to make so many different systems useless if you want to transfer from one area to another, transfer workforce from another. All systems along that route need to be set to transit, and they cannot import or export when they are in that mode. So they effectively become useless and have to self-sustain on what is there, which oftentimes is not a lot.
Yeah, see, I didn't get that knee deep into Sovno. I mostly did some small stuff and doing the pole dancing of capturing nodes and things like that. So that's basically what I focused on for a lot of it. But until we see a large scale war, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of interesting things. My whole thing when I tried to run for CSM last year and run this year is I think we need some kind of overgrowth mechanic where if you're not using a system, the rats get spicier, they get stronger, and if you have structures that are in there and no one's in that system working on, the rats will eventually get to a point where they start RFing your structures. You know, if you don't live in a system or have people actively using a system, then I think there needs to be a way for them to slowly take it over. Maybe and not flip Sov or anything crazy like that, but the rats get spicier on gates. Like they start having massive groups on there. So if you're transitioning through that area, it gets harder, and I think there should be different standings for the rats as well. Like say Bay just said in there, say Bay doesn't rat at all. So he has neutral standing, say with the Goristas, and he goes hunting someone ratting Goristas. Why are the Goristas rats shooting him? Yeah. Why are they switching to him when he goes after the Ishtar's been shooting him for 8 hours? So
exactly,
that's something I've been thinking about adding to, just to add a bit more complexity to it and make a bit more sense. That's just my thoughts towards it. I think we add that, and then it's also an ISK income thing as well for these groups. Like, say you're not using a system, and you have a new corporation that comes like, hey, we're not using the system. Can you clear out the infestation of rats in there and take it over? And and that'll take time. It'll be levels. It'll be like de-leveling the military or whatever level it is for that, and you'd have to de-level it back to where, and then you start over and you restart it. And the sites are extra hard. It takes, I would say even to the point where it takes small groups or fleets to clear out some of those sites.
That'd be
and then there'd
cool.
be little twitches and things like that you could do. But I think that would be the thing to do to make that happen. I think that'd be my idea for it, at least.
Okay. All righty. Well, I think we've got everything that we've wanted to talk about and a little bit more. Orion?
Yes.
Anything else for me, my friend?
No, thank you for having me on your subathon thing. Thank you for helping me record another episode of the Concord news report there. And that's about it for me, bud.
All righty. All right. Well, I will let you get on with your day. We'll go ahead and end the shared chat. I'm going to go ahead, before we do that, I'm going to give you a shout out over on my channel. So everyone, if you're not following Orion Sisolo, you need to be. You absolutely need to be.
I need to find my button so I can do that to you too. I don't have fancy shout out keys or anything like that. I just copy paste. Oh God, I copied it and it said Lynn Rankin 12 months badge broadcaster blah 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 blah. Because I am good at this. Bang. Haha, I have done the thing.
All right.
But, this is Lynn Rankin. He's helped me out with a lot of stuff, guys who watch me. I do faction warfare stuff normally, but he's good people. So follow him as well if you can. All
right. Orion, this has been a pleasure. I'm going to let you get back to doing your streaming. I don't know if you planned on streaming today or not. So
I had not, but I guess I am.
You are now. All right. We'll figure out how to get the VOD to you, or you can download the VOD using like 4K downloader or something like that. And then again, this section has no music or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about trying to get all that taken care of.
No worries. Thank you, man. I'll see y'all later.
All right, everyone. Orion Sasolo. Let me go ahead and switch some stuff around.